Yo, how's it going everyone? This is Koazajinketa speaking, and welcome to the next 5-minute review, more or less, of a game called The Mummy Demastered. A powerful ancient evil has arisen, and the war to save humanity has begun. As an elite agent in the monster-hunting prodigium organization, you must use a variety of weapons, upgrades, and mysterious artifacts to defend mankind against the supernatural hordes of Princes Ahmanet. Release date 24th of October 2017. Developer and publisher is WayForward. I'm just gonna go to the nitty and gritty. This was going to be my next speedrun game, but I did not end up enjoying it as much as I was hoping to. Mainly due to the negatives in the game. Not everything, because, like, for instance, story doesn't really matter when it comes to speedrunning, but in general, the negatives of this game is when you're playing the game, the story just goes way too fast. You would think even in the year 2017 you would have an interact button such as press A to continue the storyline, you know, move the story box over to the next one. But in this game, they don't. It's just the enemy says something, or, you know, the boss, whatever, and if you're not done reading it, well, too bad, because it's going on to the next line anyways. And I hated that because I couldn't actually read the entire thing, which really sucked. The game is way too short, even for 100%. Not a fan of that. It's hard to say, as not a game developer such as myself, to be like, yeah, just make it longer, it's not that hard, because obviously I'm sure it would be difficult, but in general, the game was just way too short, so that's a huge negative for me. The mini-map that the game has available is way too big. So for instance, you have a mini-map down at the bottom right, and the size of that thing is huge. I feel like they could have easily have put more into that than what they had shown. Like, to me, the thing was basically useless. When you actually open up the map, it doesn't actually show you where doors are located. So for instance, if you have a wall here and a door here where you enter from, let's just say, the left side, if you look at the big map and even the mini map, it'll just show a square and a rectangle, instead of having like a break in the middle, if that makes sense, to signify you can enter from the left side. They don't do that at all, and I have no idea why that's the case. So when you look at the map, it's just shapes everywhere. Nothing signifies you can enter from this side and this side. It's just, you can enter from this side, but in order to get there, you need to go all the way around, because you can't go from the top, even though you wouldn't have known that without actually continuing to play the game more than once, or passing through the area more than once. It was really annoying. Not a fan. The UI is not bad, but there is a section where you pick up one of the power-ups to continue playing the game. And if you look at the UI when you press pause into your inventory, you see the item, but they have it set up so it makes it look like there's two other items that you can pick up, but that's not the case. It's just the one. So they put the one item in the inventory that would actually help you to continue playing the game, because without it you wouldn't be able to. And because they put it right in the center, well, it kind of throws you off, or at least it did me. It's like, I'm not sure why it's there, but it is. Really dumb. I'm not really sure what they were thinking with that, but I'm sure they did it that way due to the fact that it would make sense to have the box where they had the power-up set in to be that way versus just one little square. But hey, what do I know? And lastly would be, you can pick up these circular coin relic things. I think they're called relics in the game, and there's 50 of them. and you can find them anywhere at any time, basically. So for instance, you break up a piece of trash and boom, a relic. And that's cool. And it's cool that there's 50 of them. But the thing is those relics are useless. Not because you can pick up 50 coins throughout, you know, for search and rescue or whatever, considering the fact that you are a soldier. But that you can't spend those relics at all. You would think if you find 10 of them, you can buy an extra health upgrade. If you find 25 of them, you can buy more ammo for your guns. If you find all 50, then you get double damage on your health or extra damage on your guns. Something like a store, or you can go back to your helicopter, since there are teleporters in the game where you can go there into a base and like spend these coins for more upgrades. Due to the fact that you can collect 50 of them is really cool, but what makes it useless is they're not used for anything, so what's the point? So yeah, the relics were really awesome, a cool idea, but they did nothing with them other than, hey, you collected all 50, congratulations, you're done. It's like, okay. That being said, all of these things you can easily very much fix, especially within 3 years of the game being out, but for some reason never was? I don't know. And that's my main gripe with this game is, like, for instance, not being able to see the doors and the mini-map just being just as equally as weird. Like, it's so hard for me, at least it was for me, to be able to route things or be able to do things without major problem, without having to just simply remember these things, which is fine. But one major reason what stopped me from speedrunning this game, because I did do it for one day, was like there was no keybinds at all. So for instance, you can either use your controller or a keyboard, and you can change the buttons on your keyboard, but you can't change the buttons on your controller. And due to my controller, my Xbox One controller ended up breaking while playing this game, I had to use an alternative controller. So for instance, I needed to switch over to the 8-bit controller, just connecting it directly to the PC and just, you know, moving things around so it would recognize the controller. But if you wanted to use, like, for instance, a program that would change your controller buttons to keyboard buttons, for some reason the game itself would just cancel that out completely, and it just wouldn't work. It would work with some of the buttons, but not all of the buttons, just to keep things short. And I thought that was the worst thing possible. So yeah, it was a big shame. Again, you can easily fix these things, but due to the fact that they never were, it was just slightly too annoying for me, so therefore I decided to just drop it and move on to something else. That being said, the positives in this game is both the music and the graphics. They're just amazing. I felt extremely jealous at the fact that the music in this game was just so good, and I wouldn't be able to listen to it due to the fact that I just couldn't speedrun it. I tried it for around 6 hours, is how long I end up streaming on Twitch for every day, and I just couldn't do it. I like, the game just did not click on me, and having controller issues, map issues, I just said no. Like, this game is definitely recommended. I would definitely recommend it. It is a Metroidvania, kind of like any other game that I've been choosing to speedrun thus far. But due to the negatives of this game, I just could not do it. So that being said, if any of that sounds cool, because when you casually play it, it is fantastic. It's a really good game. It was really fun to try and figure everything out, but you know, when you're beyond that point, like, it wasn't enough for me, and that really sucks. Again, this is very easily fixable. It's just a matter of, will they fix it? But yeah, there you go. Again, very much recommend the game. Extremely short, so if you like short games, I mean, there it is. But I won't take any more of your time. Hopefully this helped in some form, way of fashion of any sort. I personally was disappointed in the speedrunning factor of the game, but the game's really cool, so give it a try if you ever get the chance to try it out, and take care.